Hello Smallville fans, yes it's me, I'm back. Episode 18, Eternal of Smallville. Feckin' hell, wow. Very dark, very gritty. A lot of questions still to be asked, but a lot of questions were answered in this episode, especially about Davis Bloom. We now know we obviously know what his purpose is on Earth, but we now know where he came from, how he existed, what was he where was he from. We find out that he is actually also from Krypton. He came to Krypton to Earth rather, the same time as Clark did. Whereas Clark was brought up by Martha and Jonathan Kent, Davis was picked up as a kid as a lab rat and treated on and tested on and had all sorts of things done to him, because Lionel thought he had picked up the Traveller when in fact he didn't. Lionel did not realise that there was a second boy who also arrived on Earth at the same time as Davis. He thought Davis was the Traveller when in fact it was Clark. And Davis as a child was eventually tossed out into the streets, but that was when it started. That was when the creature of Doomsday emerged, when he was just left alone, as it were, just told, look, we're going to just drop you off anywhere, kind of thing. But that sort of thing, being left on the streets and no one to care for you, to look after you, what does that sort of do to someone? You just don't know. You just never know what that can do to someone until years later you see Davis appear as a paramedic, and obviously he's got this alter ego about him. And it's great that Smallville have given him an alter ego, because obviously in the comics he is a fully fledged ultimate killing machine of a creature. He is just mad, basically. He is just a destroyer of everything. We actually also find out that kryptonite does affect Davis, but totally opposite to how it affects Clark. It doesn't weaken him, it makes him stronger, but by making him stronger he eventually becomes immortal. So whatever you do, make sure you're not carrying kryptonite if you're around Doomsday. That's all I'm going to say, because it does make him stronger, and he confirms that towards the end of the episode as well to Chloe. And it was just so weird seeing where his background and knowing about him when he was a young boy, and he's even he's known Lex as well. Briefly knew Lex Luthor. So yeah, all of that coming together, it's like really finally now we know about Davis. We know what he was like as a kid. We know what happened to him when he was a kid, and look what's happened to him years later as he's grown up. Also, the relationship between Davis and Chloe seemed to be getting stronger. We find out that Davis loves Chloe that much, that he's in love with Chloe that much, that when he's around Chloe, Doomsday doesn't want to come out. It stops him from allowing Doomsday to get out to appear, and he begs Chloe to stay with him. Whether Chloe stays with him or not, you'll have to find out for yourself if you haven't watched the episode, because I'm not going to say it. But to realise that his love for Chloe is so much stronger than this creature coming out to kill people, that's the biggest test for Davis. It is the test for him to say, I can only control it when I'm around you. But it's going to be a case of Chloe saying, well, if I stay with you, what's going to happen? If I don't stay with you, you're going to want to kill Clark. So it's those two minds that she's going to be at to figure out what she's going to do now. Whether she stays with Davis or whether she leaves him, we don't know what's going to happen. Tess, obviously, she knows about Davis. She was the one who told Davis where he was from, how he came to this planet, why he's here, all that sort of stuff. So she's basically told Davis exactly his purpose on Earth. Davis is just not wanting to have any of it, but he knows that he cannot stop his destiny. So he tries to get Chloe to kill him, which doesn't work, because as I say, we find out that kryptonite doesn't kill him, makes him stronger. Clark is still denying to Tess that he is not this superhero, that he's from another planet, all that sort of stuff. But Tess knows. We now know that Tess knows, because we saw in oh my god, why have I forgotten that episode? It wasn't Infamous, it wasn't Hex, it was the one in between Infamous and Hex, and I've forgotten the name of the episode. Oh, but Turbulence, that's it, yes, Turbulence. That she does know about Clark, and that she does know who he really is, where he's really from. But Clark is obviously just denying it as always. But eventually Tess will make Clark realise that, look, mate, there's no point in lying. I know who you are, and I'm going to prove it to you. So we'll see what I'm sure Tess has something in store for Clark, and we can't wait to see what it's going to be as well. Not much else to say about the episode, but I did really enjoy it, and it was an eye-opener, especially on the side of Davis Bloom and Doomsday and everything. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens from now on until the end of the season. Just let you know that for the next 2 weeks, next week and the week after, there's no Smallville, so I will be doing a couple of past episode reviews. I've already had a couple sent to me, so I'm going to do those. One of them includes the pilot episode of Smallville itself, which will be interesting to do. I can't wait to do that. I won't do that next week, I'll actually do that for the week after. So until then, as I say, we'll be back in the third week, which is for Stiletto, to episode 19, and this episode is going to be interesting because it sees Lois Lane as, well, a superhero. I don't know how that's going to work, but I can't wait to see it. So look out for that. As I say, I'll be doing 2 past